Hello there and welcome back. It's a miracle, it's a sunny day. It's been so bleak recently, and the last video was a bit dull and dank, but we've got a lovely day today. So we thought we'd pop along to Aberlady to have a look at something quickly. We're heading sort of east from Edinburgh along to North Berwick and maybe a little bit further today. And we thought we'd have a look at something we've never seen before. I saw a video about it the other day and I thought, well, we've got to go and have a look at it. And it's on the beach way over there, so it's a fair walk that we've got to take, but I hope you enjoy it. We've crossed over the lovely little wooden bridge, which has beautiful views left and right. And so we thoroughly enjoyed that. And we're walking up a little pathway in between the golf course really on the right and the estuary. And we're heading to the beach, and what we're going to see, you can only see at low tide. And it's quite a special thing, quite historic. And I've only just found out about this, amazingly, so we've come specially to have a look at it. Behind us here is Gullen Golf Course, and it's a very golfing area, East Lothian. You've got Muirfield just a little bit up the road, which is where the Open Championships is played, so quite historic. And then further on you've got North Berwick Golf Course. So if you're a golfing fan, you'll be sort of keen to come here. I think we're almost there.
Come on, Tanya, keep going.
I am!
You are, that's good.
They're just out. Incredible, that was worth the climb.
So you can see right in the distance there where the tide's coming in, these three lumps.
We're almost there. The beaches in East Lothian are amazing. They're so huge. It isn't quite low tide. It's got probably an hour and a half to go until it's low tide. But what we're going to have a look at is already exposed. So we'll go there and see how it goes. It's quite noisy, so I don't know how the microphone is going to pick it up. But we'll head off there still. We finally arrived at where we're heading, and we've arrived here to see these two submarines. These are X-craft submarines, and they're really famous. Part of the film Cockleshell Heroes, they were in there, and they were involved in the sinking of the Tirpitz too. And in 1946, after the war, they were wondering what to do with them, so they put them here. There's another one over there, so there's two of them, and they were moored on this great big concrete slab. It was a tank trap, and they were floated here for experiments, really. What happened is that they were testing out ordnance for aircraft, and they were experimenting with 20mm cannons. And part of the shells, the bullets that came out from them were armoured piercing. The other type were exploding shells. So that's what they were testing, really, to see the effectiveness of these two shells. So they were floated, and then the aircraft came in and strafed them, and then they had a look at it, and the next day they were refloated and they were strafed again. So really, really fascinating. There's a video of that too, which I've seen, which I'll link to this program if you'll see it in the links. And it shows the Spitfire and the Mosquito strafing these submarines. So a really amazing sight. These midget submarines, they had a crew of 4, all cramped into this tiny, tiny area. And they could stay underwater for many, many days. It must have been a horrible experience, but you know, they were brave men who went in these. Crew of 4, as I say. You had the commander, you had the driver, You have a navigator, and you have what's called an engine room artificer. Now, I know about engine room artificers because my uncle, he was an engine room artificer in the Second World War, and he served in destroyers, in particular the HMS Lafaurie. And they're basically very qualified engineers, which you had to have one on board this type of craft if anything went wrong. And it really is an historic thing. 1946 it was towed here. It's been here a long time, and it's had a hard life. It's tidal, so every tide it's covered, and then it's uncovered all the time. So you can really get a sense of the shape of it. You can see now why I wore Wellington boots to see this. And you can still see the hatches where they used to come in and out of. So looks like there's 1, 2, 3 of them. Looks like a periscope, perhaps. This thing here looks like a periscope coming up, covered in seaweed and crustaceans. Really an amazing sight. It really looks like a whale here. You can see the ribs of it coming through, and this is not pretty well preserved actually. And you can imagine all these people in here and sort of cramped and having a very hard time.
So here's a wonderful view of Edinburgh and the Pentlands. As you can see on the left, there's the Pentlands, and there's that range of hills to the south of Edinburgh. And if you follow the hills to the right, you'll come to another little hill with a double peak in it, and that's Arthur's Seat. It's a magnificent old volcano, a volcanic plug, and that really overlooks and towers above Edinburgh itself, which you can see just to the right of it. You can see lots of those little spiky things, and those are the buildings of Edinburgh. You see the castle on the top there and the Scott Monument. Really great sight.
It was deeper than I thought it was going to be.
We arrived back at the camper van, and we had a really excellent adventure there. Seeing that submarine really took me back in history. We've come back, and we've had about a 5-mile walk, so we're pleased to be back. We're going to have a cup of coffee quickly, and then we'll head off to North Berwick to do a painting. So looking forward to that. We're going to be doing a little bit of a change up in our channel now. We're going to be aiming to do 2 videos a week. If you can take us, you're going to be seeing a lot more of us. The first video is going to be on our travels and our adventures. Tanya and I go to so many amazing places, and it will be really nice to bring people along with us to sort of share in that. Scotland is such an amazing place, so there's so much to see and such spectacular scenery too. The next part is going to be our normal part, which is our painting demonstrations. So nothing's really going to change in that. So guiding you through all the painting process. But it's going to be a big adventure, and I can feel the summer coming now. So it's all about to get underway.
Right, and then right.
We've arrived at North Berwick. It's a really beautiful place. We come here quite regularly, and I always enjoy it. It's always feel good when I come here. Interestingly, it was voted best place to live in Britain recently, and I'm not surprised. It is a fantastic place to live. The beach and the harbour. It's a place of beauty, as well as the golf course, which is just on the left here. You're right here, North Berwick Golf Course, and that's lovely as well. I've never played it, but you never know, one day. That'd be a lot of fun to do that. So we've come here and we're going to be doing a painting probably in the dunes, a little bit behind you on the left there, and see what's going on. And you've got Bass Rock here in the far distance, this huge rock that is so photogenic. And we're going to have a picture featuring that somehow within the rocks over there. So here's the drawing of it. Just a quick thing, it's in pencil this time because I forgot my pen that's in the van, so pencil will have to do. So I've got all the things in. I've got the foreground in there quite nicely and looking into the picture. I always like a feeling of depth going into the picture. Composition is a really important part, and I do try and pay close attention to that. Right, I'm just about to get going now. I've done my transferring my drawing onto the piece of paper now, and it's the first marks really which are so tricky, and just to go and have that confidence to get them done in not too careful a way. That's part of the trick of it. So it's a lovely scene, and we'll see how it goes. And just mix it up and see how it goes. Really bright. That's a lovely colour. Something very satisfying about them. Change the colour of it. Dots of colour. Coming back to the left of the picture, and there's another rock here coming in. It's darker at the bottom. Here, it's here. Trying to get that feeling of the grass coming in. So there we have it, all done, and yeah, I'm pleased with it. I thought it's a really colourful picture, and above all I love a colourful picture and painted with a bit of dash to it, so I am pleased with that. The weather has really changed. Tanya was saying that she wished she brought her gloves, so it is March still and it is pretty cold and it's got pretty grim out here, but the painting is like a glowing, colourful rainbow coming at me, which makes me feel better. And it was a lovely scene. I really enjoyed painting that scene, and it's nice to get the first painting of the Scottish year under your belt. So we found a parking space in North Berwick, a place we stayed quite a few times before. It's right on the cliffs here and looking over North Berwick, and what an incredible view that is, an amazing view, one of the nicest park-ups that you'll find. But it's getting really cold, and we've come out here just to give you a lowdown on the day, and it's gone really well, and we've enjoyed ourselves, but now it's time to settle down into the camper van. If Tanya spins around with me, you can see in the other direction here, you've got Bass Rock in the distance. Hopefully you can see that there, so that's another wonderful sight. The golf course here too, so we're going to have a lovely night here and wake up to a great view tomorrow morning. We've woken up to a really lovely day. The sun is out, which is nice, and we've got some few clouds, which is creating some nice light effects. But it is windy, so we'll see how that goes. We had a really good night's sleep. It was raining and windy during the night, but that didn't affect us too much. I always like it when it's raining at night because I always feel a bit more snug in there. In the old days, I remember sleeping in a tent and it was horrendous. So being in a little camper van is like 100 times better than that. So we're going to have a little walk over towards Bass Rock today and see what sort of scenes we can find, and hopefully we'll find something really good. Well, we've been walking around and we've stumbled across this place here. I've been here a few times and it's a really lovely spot. You've got the waves coming in and you've got Bass Rock behind, this beautiful lump of lava really. It's a lava plug, and we're gonna have a go at this. Might be reasonably big, but it's really windy here, so I don't want the painting to blow away. So we've got to go back to the car now and get the stuff and return shortly. And ready to go. Right, we're all set up now, and we had a little bit of a trek from the van over the hills and far away, and we set up. It's been quite tricky setting up here because we're on a bit of an awkward place. We're teetering on a rock, so the ground is very uneven. I've done my little sketch, so that's all good and set up, and I've transferred my image to the piece of paper that I'm going to do. Now this is, if you wanted to see the full version of this painting, that'll come out on Sunday now. So this is part of our little travel program at the moment. So the full painting will be on Sunday. So there we have it. I've pretty much done it now, and it has been a really intense painting, as they always are outdoors. There's ever-changing light and wind problems. I've actually got my hand up here because I'm trying to cover the microphone because it's so windy, just to try and give you a little bit better noise, sound quality on it. And yeah, I enjoyed doing it, I must admit. And like I said earlier, it's always such a wonderful experience coming out and painting and having to get on with it and not having things distracting you when you're in the studio. It's a wonderful way of seeing things, and it's great to get out as well. So anyway, I hope you all enjoyed that, and that you liked the picture. It's a very colourful picture, bring a brightness to anyone's home, and I look forward to seeing you next time. If you can subscribe, that would be great, and maybe a thumbs up, that always helps the channel. Okay, until next time, thanks very much, bye bye.